This is Mary,
And this is Annie,
and we are
the Adoption Squad. And we could do that together because we're actually sitting together.
for the very first time in the creation
half.
of the Adoption Squad. Yeah, we've
Right.
never sat together and actually recorded. So it's kind of strange because I'm usually looking out the window
Right.
or something totally random. But yeah, I'm sitting here in Annie's house
Right.
across from her at her dining room table.
And neither one of us is in pajamas.
No, I actually threw on a little bit of makeup.
I failed.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. Well, today is Father's Day.
Yeah.
And I don't think either one of us really realized it that much.
Yeah. I've been working on a little Father's Day project for my adopted brother, as directed by my adopted sister. But still,
Yeah.
like my brain didn't recognize that today is actually Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there and anyone acting as a dad.
There you go. Absolutely. Because
Mhm.
there are some unique family dynamics out there where, maybe there's a father figure in your life who's acting as a positive mentor. We hope there are a lot of those.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now I suppose we should reflect on our own fathers or just talk about what we've been up to and why we haven't been on the podcast at all.
Right. We've
lately.
taken a little bit of a break, a giant break. And
Yeah.
I think we just kind of decided, today would be a great day for us to actually get together in person to not only see each other. It's been a very long year and a half.
Mhm.
So yeah, today is the first time that we have been around each other in a couple of years.
Yeah, it's at least a year and a half.
Yeah. I think it was Christmas of yikes.
2019.
Right. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Forever ago. And
Yeah.
and so many people are going through this same experience. Like, when was the last time we saw each other?
Right.
Yeah.
So that would have been the last time.
I think you look fabulous.
Oh, well, ditto, because I'll tell you, it was looking kind of dark there for a while, just not seeing anybody.
Right.
And
Right.
not getting dressed most days, in my case. And,
Right.
I
Yeah.
threw away all of my makeup and got rid of most of my clothes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm kind of starting over.
Big overhaul.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess for anyone who's listening, one of the reasons that we did get together was to do this and
Mhm.
to talk about something we've decided, which is to basically put the Adoption Squad on a shelf.
Mhm.
I guess in my case, things just started to come back to not even, I can't say normal
Mm.
at all, but just a different way. I got very busy with work and started putting a lot of my energy toward that. I definitely love getting together with Annie, but I think I like getting together with her to do social things.
Right. And not keep digging up.
Yeah.
I think one thing we both recognized, okay, we processed again
Mm-hmm.
and kind of want to just move on from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was some of the stories and episode where I talked about my mom, my bio mom, and kind of her end of life. I'm really grateful to have gone through that process
Mm-hmm.
and to have really thought that through. But now I'm on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And I want to just take my lessons and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where I am too,
Yeah.
where I'm not really wanting to dwell on all of the negativity.
Right.
And, some of it was definitely very good. And I'm so happy that I found found out where I came from and the story that maybe wasn't so pleasant all the time. And
Right.
whoops, you're Sonny and Cher, are not your parents. That kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But it also made me think, well, if I talk about more of where I think I'm going with this, then I'm probably going to dive into this really deep, dark place that I don't really want to go. I kind of feel
Yeah.
like, maybe with the lift of this pandemic time,
Mhm.
at least most of it for now, that I kind of want to keep my head in a better place.
Yeah. And I mean, as with any kind of trauma, we want to move, it'll always be part of us, but to keep going back and deep diving into those dark places is maybe not, I mean, we're not professional psychologists clearly,
No.
but I do think from my perspective to keep going back to that and picking the scab, if you will,
Yes.
is maybe not the most productive thing. So we processed
Yep.
again for
Yeah.
both of us, and different things came out.
Mhm.
For me, I can speak for myself. For me, different things did come out of that, and I'm grateful for that experience. But yeah, I do know there's all sorts of forums online and other places to hear adoption stories for sure.
Yeah.
And to share your own. So it's not like, you know, we didn't make big inroads into the world of adoption by any means. But if you were listening, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But just know, and I'm sure you do, anybody who has Google will know or can get Google at a library,
Right.
will be able to find some resources because there are just a ton of them out there. And we found a lot of neat resources through some of the authors that we talked to, local adoption groups. I still get emails from saying, join us for this virtual cocktail hour. And I'm like, maybe when I need to deep dive into something again, I'll do that. But for right now, I'm just going to keep moving forward.
There you go. Yeah, I think that one thing that this podcast world brought out, at least, was another opportunity to connect with people in a way that we weren't connecting before.
Right.
And so we definitely became part of this community that I had never sought out before. So I didn't really know what to expect, but we had the opportunity to speak with a lot of really great people along the way. We made some great connections. I want to apologize to anybody who's been trying to reach out in social media recently because I haven't been checking it. Like,
did you ghost them,
Mary? Not on purpose.
Okay.
So I think that what's going to happen is I will, dive into all the messages and reply to those, of course. But as far as the podcast is concerned, I believe that this is going to be our last episode, just because we're just going to move on to other things.
Right.
But I have to say, I'm proud of us because I remember asking you, do you want to do this with me? I need something to do other than my job because it was just so draining. And you said yes, thank you. And then the next thing was, I have to put together a website and I have to choose a logo and I have to learn how to mix it and how to get it out there. So it was a learning process for me from the very start, but I'm a lifelong learner. I like doing that kind of stuff, but now I know I can do it if I ever want to come back to it. But, it was a great project and it was something that, it was the reason that you and I connected in the first place.
Right.
And I have absolutely no regrets and love the community that we are part of and all the great people that we got to speak to.
It's been really lovely to see how supportive the adoption community is of each other. When no one else understands you, someone from that community will.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You will find support.
Yep. Definitely want to give thanks to Kevin Barheit,
Mm-hmm.
Yael Adler, and Simon Ben, all of them for speaking with me and just being part of our podcast, and to those who wrote in letters and anyone who ever listened to us. It was an amazing journey. So again, thank you for that.
Well, I'm also reflecting on the many times I sat in this very room
Mhm.
for literally hours talking to you on the phone. We had a pregame discussion almost every
We
time.
did.
And I would look at the clock and think, oh my God, we need to start recording because I have to work tomorrow.
Mhm.
But we could have just like the best discussions. And I'm like not a heavy phone person at all. But with you, it was just like a lifeline during the pandemic to
Yeah.
have somebody to talk to, that it was just, I mean, I have people to talk to, but it was a very non-judgmental, and I think that our friendship became bigger because of
Yes.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're even talking about a possibility of a trip or something
Yeah.
next year,
Yeah.
something that's, non-adoption, that we can just continue our friendship,
Right.
having some fun times and hang out again.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that this summer for
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
Just to get to hang out. Well, since it's Father's Day,
Okay.
do you want to maybe come up with a favorite memory of
Oh.
something, or you might have more than one?
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Well, there was a time when we were on a family vacation in Canada, and we liked to go up there because it was a town, um, very remote town, and my dad would take my brothers when they were younger, and then later on us girls who were basically very tomboyish. So we grew up around fishing and boats and all this stuff. So we would go to this small town in Columbus, yikes, Canada. And the town it was so quaint. They had a guy who sold the vegetables, they had a woman who was the baker, they had a little general store. It was just the coolest place, right?
Hmm.
So one day we were off on this fishing excursion, out in the middle of nowhere in this lake, and I believe we ran out of gas, which was
Oh, wow.
not common for my dad. He was
Yeah.
very, he would keep a backup tank at all times. I'm not sure what happened there,
Wow.
but of course, this state of panic from
Mm.
all the kids, because I had a friend with me, my sister, she had a
Jeez.
friend with her,
Oh, wow.
mom is there, and dad, and he's swearing and all that stuff, because it's his
Yeah.
excursion,
He screwed
right? And
up.
he's like, damn, and all this stuff.
Oh, shoot.
So we did end up getting rescued, but
Mhm.
these fishermen that came by were really kind of creepy looking.
Oh,
and
no.
My friend's standing there with this oar, like she's going to do something at age 12 with this oar.
Oh, no.
So yeah, I think that was kind of very humbling for him, because he really prided himself on being Mr. Fisherman, and
Mhm.
just that day it just did not work out very well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is this a favorite memory?
I don't know. It was just like the
A dad
average, just
memory.
a dad memory.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy outlandish about it, but I guess I was not ready for the question to think too
Oh, no,
deep.
I'll give you time to think more. But I get it. Like
There's a
something like that
lot.
popped into your head. I'm guessing you were observing how he was handling this and realized he's just as vulnerable as everybody else.
Absolutely.
And you had a lot of empathy for your dad from what I gather.
Oh yeah. So I
Yeah.
felt terrible for him, because
Right.
I was like, I
Yeah.
just know that my mother is over there
Oh,
blaming him.
right. And so, yeah, I can see that as Mary just observing and having an abundance of empathy for dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always wanted to be on his side.
Yeah.
because I don't know. I think I just always knew he was the one who was going to defend me when
Right.
the times were called for that to happen.
Right. Right.
And he did. And so I don't know. I'm very appreciative that he was my dad. He
Mm.
wasn't always, everyone's favorite person. But to me, it was he could do absolutely no wrong. So
Oh,
I looked at that day
that's really
being
sweet.
stranded out there for hours as an adventure.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would
that's cool.
do it all over again. How about you?
Well, I'm gonna have a story for each of them,
Okay.
and that'll leave you time to think of another one if you
Okay.
want.
Okay.
But the person who adopted me, he passed away this January,
Mhm.
and of course, I've spent quite a bit of time thinking about good memories, and I've talked to one of my sisters a bit about that too, and it's interesting memories that I have that she doesn't have. Like I remember him, and I might have mentioned this before. He would always sing like one line of a song over and over again, and and I just recently, through watching a documentary about country music, figured out one of the songs because I'm like I would Google these lyrics, and I came up with nothing,
Okay.
and so I'm so excited that I have this song now. He would sing the line, "Tears on the pillow that you dream on." And I'm like, there's no such song. But there's a song that "Send me the pillow that you dream on." And I'm like, oh, that's the right tune, just the wrong lyrics. So,
Okay.
but from him and from my adopted mom too, the love for music certainly was fostered. And he doesn't even remember, like, he wasn't obsessed with music, it was just always in the background. I absorbed it.
Mm,
And so, they gave me a nice palette to work from, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'll always be grateful for that. And then there was one time too when I was dating someone quite a bit older than me, and he never, my this dad never gave me advice about anything really, but he pulled me aside one day and just probably had about 3 sentences to say, but I took notice, and I was like, ah, man, he is watching, he is seeing what's going on. He just didn't feel he needed to interfere until he did.
Mm.
And he didn't even interfere. It was just real gentle. And it was just, this is my perspective on it. Here you go. That's what I think about it. Not, you need to do this, you need to do that. It was just his perspective. And I'm like, damn.
So, because everybody sees it before
Oh, yeah.
you would see
Before,
it,
yeah.
but he had a way of making it known, maybe, or
Yeah.
bringing it to the surface
Brought it to the
without.
what his opinion of it
Mhm.
was and of the situation was. And it was so non judgmental. And he wasn't telling me what to do. I'm like, that was his golden parenting moment with me.
Yeah.
Seriously. And guess what? I took his advice because it was both non judgmental, and he wasn't yelling, and he wasn't telling me what to do.
Was it the right move?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it was like a golden parenting moment. And then, do you have anything else? Because I can talk about my bio dad too.
I've got so many,
Oh,
but I'm trying to think if I told one
yeah. I'm like, I
before,
don't know if
and
I
I
did.
just, I'm like, I don't want people to go, you told that story
Oh,
before. But yes,
that's okay.
did I talk about how he taught me to be punctual?
No.
Okay. So almost to a fault, I am always on time and a
Oh,
lot of times
I'm sorry.
early. Hey, other people, but
Oh,
fine. But for me, he taught me the world does not operate on your timeline. Okay,
wow.
so here's how I learned about that. As a preteen, I would go to the skating rink on Friday nights. It was my thing. So it was either my dad picking us up at midnight, which was late, but that was the time that
Mm.
they let out,
Okay.
and they wouldn't let anybody out who didn't have a ride
Oh,
immediately.
wow.
Yeah, it was very secure.
Wow.
Growing up back in the early 80s
Yeah.
was pretty great.
Yeah.
And then, so it was his turn to pick us up. He said, "Here's the rule, kid. You and your friend need to be at that door at midnight.
Hmm.
Skates already off, ready to walk out, or I'm
Right.
coming in."
Oh,
Well, guess who was not at the door at midnight with her
yeah.
skates off, ready to walk out? This one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know those dad PJs that have like the shorts and then the top that buttons up.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the terry cloth robe that goes
Oh,
over.
okay.
Okay, and then the slippers were the driving shoes of the night. My dad, big dude, walks through the door.
So basically, Lebowski walks through the door.
Basically, yes. And he's yelling my first, middle, and last name at the top of his voice. And that
Whoa.
voice was loud.
Whoa.
And it was, oh my God. And I'm over in the corner going, oh no. And I knew what time it was. I had my Swatch watch on.
Right.
I knew. So I knew what time it was. So
You just
yeah,
push the
I
envelope.
tried because he was probably out there at 11:30, to
Oh,
be honest
yeah.
with you.
Right.
Probably out there listening to ABBA in the car,
Yeah.
because
Oh my gosh.
that's what you do. Yes. So yeah, that experience taught me, don't be late
Right.
and keep your promises.
Right. Keep your promises to your dad.
See?
Yeah. I mean, he's your ride. At least you understood that part.
Yeah.
You know, there's a certain line where you of respect that you had, a
Yep.
baseline of respect, because I know there were some kids who would not learn that lesson.
Yeah.
They would just be mad.
Right.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't try to test him after that.
Right.
You know, he just kind of gave me the verbal, when I got in the car thing.
Mm-hmm.
If he wanted to be funny or something, though, after school, he would blast ABBA or John Denver or something he knew would be kind of uncool to my friends.
Right.
Roll down the window, sit outside of my, yeah. If he wanted to move things along, he knew how to do that.
Oh, smart.
Yes.
Smart.
Yeah.
All right. I like it a lot.
Tell me another one.
Oh, so bio dad. We had known each other for a while, and he finally decided to drive to where I was living, and this was a long drive. And I think I might have mentioned this before. I don't know. But I just remember hanging out with him and showing him around Boston, where I was living at the time, and he helped me around my house with some projects and actually got hurt in the process.
Oh.
Well, it was a minor injury, but I'm like, oh dang. It was a nice bonding experience. And that's pretty much it. It was just, I appreciated him taking the time to come and visit with me and to have that one-on-one time.
Yeah. And to be part of your world and allow you to be the one who's doing the guiding.
Right. Right. And being kind of excited to do that. And,
Yeah.
Some of the stuff he was really thrilled to experience taking him on the boats. I think I did talk about this before, but that was kind of our best daughter son.
Hey, Columbus, Canada.
It's a long day already.
And we're not even drinking.
No. I can't remember what I am right now to him. Daughter experience. Well, I think honestly, it felt more like father son, because we were doing, and I'm totally stereotyping things by saying this, but I mean, we were doing house projects. Tools were involved, and that's what we did.
That's why you're so good at all the stuff you're doing in your home.
Trying to.
As
you can see, it's not finished.
Great, by the way.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, so that DIY attitude, I guess, was there. That's so funny.
I think for those of us who are close with our dads,
Mhm.
whatever their thing is, I guess, which for my dad, it was, fishing, gardening, writing and
Oh.
just kind of being snarky and all of that. It kind of shapes who we are.
Oh, sure.
And I feel like if he, were still here today, I would have loved to have cooked him something and just spoiled him all day and just
Oh.
sat around telling jokes.
Oh, yeah. What would we do if they were still here?
Oh man.
Because none of ours are.
No, mine's been gone.
Oh,
Next year will be
gosh.
20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I would have cooked him something that he thought was probably fattening and delicious, but then thrown in some fruit to keep
Hmm.
it balanced because
Hmm.
they cancel each other out.
Okay.
Uh, but I think we just would have, I think he would have been living with me by this point in time.
Oh.
I probably would have chosen a house where I could just make that happen.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because, he was just hysterical and, you know, um, I think he would have tolerated the animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of them probably would have curled up in his lap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, he would be in his upper 80s, almost 90.
Yeah.
So I would
Wow.
think we probably wouldn't be out on a boat today.
No, probably not. But who knows?
But
Yeah.
yeah, probably grill him something, cook him
Mm-hmm.
something, and just have the day,
Oh, that's nice.
you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I know with my biological dad, this was Father's Day was the day I met two of my half siblings.
Oh, wow.
He ambushed me.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I thought we were having dinner together, and nope, there we are.
surprise.
Surprise! Here's these other two I've been talking about, and I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, that was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did it because I'm sure, I would have put that off forever
Yeah.
because my brain only held so many family members at that time.
Right.
I was like, I'm good where I am. If I add anything more to this, it's going to start getting complicated.
Right.
And it wasn't, yeah, it just was a complicated story. So I just wasn't going to dive in
Mm-hmm.
to meeting some other people, not through any fault of their own or anything like that. It just was complicated.
Yeah.
And but what would I do today? I'd have him come over and help me finish some of these projects. Happy Father's Day. Here's a tool.
I'm sure he would have loved that too.
No, and I would have liked to have gotten both of them together.
Yeah.
Bio dad and adopted dad. I think they would have been totally cool together. Um, yeah, that would have been fun, actually.
It's an interesting point because some,
Yeah.
some of us don't know.
Right. Right.
But from what I know of my bio dad, I think that he and my adopted dad probably would have gotten along pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. And all of these are just guesses, but I
Right.
really, based on experience,
Exactly.
I really think it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Wow. How appropriate that we
Darn.
got together on Father's Day.
I know. I can't even believe that it worked out like that.
It really did.
That's
And
pretty cool.
We both considered ourselves, very close. Well, I did, especially, I guess,
Oh,
to my
yeah,
dad.
to your dad, for
He was just
sure, for
like
sure.
my dude. But
Yeah.
wow.
That's pretty neat. And I'm
Yeah.
glad we talked about favorite memories and even the what ifs. What would we do if they were
Yeah.
still here? Somehow that's bringing me comfort.
Yeah.
So good job.
Yeah,
Us.
exactly.
I guess that's the
mean,
closure that seems absolutely appropriate.
Closure we were looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't worry about us, you guys. We're gonna be getting out there taking tours of historical homes before you know it, and that's the kind of stuff we do.
Right.
And hanging out and chatting and getting our pets all squared away and yeah, so this was a very good adventure and a great lesson in a lot of things.
Yeah, opening yourself up to painful memories again.
Yeah.
And just reprocessing in a very accepting, controlled environment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And, in a year of uncertainty and crazy times.
I don't know. I might feel like I grew up a tiny bit through this experience.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I
It's okay if you didn't.
I don't know
Like,
that I grew up at all, but I think
uh,
that definitely a lot of things I used to get upset about no
mm,
longer do.
okay.
Like I'm able to brush things off better.
Oh,
I'm
good.
focusing more on my own mental health and
Oh, that's really good.
positivity
Yeah.
and just kind of shoving all the negative stuff out
Excellent.
and keeping life very simple. And the people around me
Mm,
who are around me are only those that I want in my
mm,
bubble.
mm-hmm.
And I was very fortunate for the last year and a half to have one other person there, my two pets,
Yeah.
and then being able to chat with Annie. And that was about it for me, honestly. So it was a very close bubble, but we're ready to get out to spend
Absolutely.
more time with her in person
Yes.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
continue that. So that won't change. But
Well, and my new
yeah.
dog clearly loves you.
Oh,
Like
it,
he is so chilled out. It's crazy. It's wonderful.
I hope. Oh, I hope to get to know him better.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think has changed with you in the last year about, you said, growing up?
Oh, I
What's
think
different?
absolutely the same thing you said was, and I think that's probably true for a lot of people. This forced seclusion causes reevaluation.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of us figured out we were busy doing a lot of things we didn't really want to do
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
it was something to do instead of being really focused and directed
Hmm.
into things that bring you joy,
Yep.
or that feel soul enriching, and that can include being helpful to others, and not just, I'm not talking about doing a lot of navel gazing here and like what makes me feel good and happy.
Mhm.
It's not really necessarily even about being happy, because life isn't always happy, but it's about feeling centered and not distracted
Mhm.
by a lot of noise, which this world is full of.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of bringing the noise level down.
Right.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
brought the noise level down
Right.
hugely this last year.
Yeah. And it's
Hmm.
important because, you know, noise is just pollution.
Yeah, it just too many things to focus on is not a good way to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's a good place to
Yeah, so we're
to
turning down the
stop.
noise.
So we're turning down the noise.
We're not going to
even
be part of the
more.
noise
No.
anymore.
We're helping the pollution problem by turning it off.
That's a full circle moment, isn't
It
it?
really is.
What did you learn from the pandemic? To shut up.
That's right.
To stop talking.
You are welcome.
All right. On that note.
Again, everyone, thanks for listening
Mhm.
and being part of this. And I guess we're not going to ask for your stories
I'm
anymore,
sorry.
but keep sharing among the adoption community because it is important to have connections with other
Yeah.
people. We will still have the website there and our social media accounts for now.
Mhm.
But we wish everybody well, and again, do what makes you happy and content.
Mhm. Good luck and good growing out there.
That's right. Well, there won't be a next time, but word to your mothers.
And to your fathers, especially today.
Exactly.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.